All right, so today we're diving deep into something pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Rwanda.
Rwanda?
Why?
Hmm.
Why is this tiny little country in the middle of Africa
Yeah,
suddenly attracting so much attention from investors?
you're right.
Like, what's going on?
Absolutely.
And to get to the bottom of this, we are going right
Right to the source.
to the source, the Rwanda Development Board.
Straight to the source.
They've got a website, and they are making their case
Oh, yeah.
as to why you should be putting your money in Rwanda.
Laying it all out.
And they break it down into a few key areas. They
Wow.
talk about, first of all, their growth.
Growth.
They talk about how safe the country is.
That's important.
They talk about the business environment.
Super important.
They talk about how they are becoming kind of a regional hub,
Yeah, like a center.
like a center for East Africa.
I thought, yeah.
And then also how ready they are for technology.
Oh, wow.
Like, are they ready for the digital world?
Right.
And we're going to dig into all of that.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah, and we're going to look at some really
Hi.
surprising statistics.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's start with growth.
Okay.
The Rwanda Development Board says that since 2007,
Okay.
they have had an average annual growth rate of 7.5%,
That's impressive.
which is the sixth fastest in Africa.
6.
So put that into context.
Okay, well, the global average hovers around 3%.
Right, like around the world.
Yeah, for economic growth.
So more than twice as fast as the global average.
More than double. That's
No,
significant.
but it was growing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you look at
Yeah.
numbers and data for investors, consistent growth
Yes.
is super important.
More so than
Growth
even
rate-
a high growth rate.
It shows stability, it shows predictability,
Yes.
it shows that things are moving in the right direction.
Right, it's not just a one-off.
Exactly, and
All
that
right.
gives businesses a sense
Yeah.
of confidence that they can come in
Right.
and actually thrive.
Okay, so why are they growing so fast?
Well, one of the things that jumps out
Okay.
is their demographics. A young population, they've got 65%
Oh, wow.
of their population under the age of 30.
That's huge.
That is massive. And so when you think about that,
Yeah.
that's a huge potential workforce.
Right.
But it's also a huge potential market
Yeah.
for new products and services.
Right. If you
Yeah.
can give them the jobs, that's income they can spend.
Absolutely. So there's this incredible energy and
Mhm.
this vibrancy that comes with a young population.
Right.
But it also comes with challenges, right?
Like what?
So you have to make sure that the education system is
Yeah.
producing the skills that the economy needs.
Right.
You have to create enough jobs
Yeah.
to accommodate all of these young people coming into the workforce.
Right. Otherwise, you got a lot of unemployment.
Exactly. And that can lead to instability.
So it's a double-edged sword.
It is, but it's definitely an opportunity.
Okay. Let's move on to their next claim, which is safety.
Safety. Okay.
And this is where some people
Might be surprised.
might be surprised. Now, according to the BBC, Rwanda
Okay.
is the second safest country in the world
Wow.
for women traveling alone.
For solo female travelers.
Yeah, and
Wow,
that's
amazing.
that really goes against kind of a lot of the
preconceived notion.
preconceived notions people have
Absolutely.
when they think about Africa.
Right. They think maybe danger,
Yeah.
instability.
Yeah, so how does safety affect investment?
Well, it's huge because it means stability.
Right.
Businesses, when they are looking to invest,
Yeah.
they want to know that their investment is secure.
That makes sense.
Right. And that the country is stable,
Yeah.
that they can focus on their long-term plans, on growth, on attracting talent,
Yeah.
without having to worry about security concerns.
Right.
So it's really a major advantage.
Right, it's one less thing to worry about.
Exactly.
Okay, so and then they also talk about Rwanda having the lowest debt ratio in its region
Oh, wow.
and stable credit ratings.
Which is
Now, how is that relevant to investors?
okay, so that's really important because,
Yeah.
again,
Right.
it shows that Rwanda is managing its finances responsibly.
Right.
And so there is less risk
Of what?
of economic instability.
Okay.
So investors see those numbers, the debt ratio, the credit rating,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, this is a country
Yeah.
that we can trust to manage our investment over the long term.
So it's about trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to business.
Business environment.
Environment.
It's key.
Rwanda is ranked second in Africa
Second.
for ease of doing business
Oh, wow.
and fourth for government transparency.
What does that actually look like?
So ease of doing business means that,
Yeah.
registering a company
Yeah.
is a very streamlined process.
Easy. Okay.
You can probably do it online in a matter of days.
That's a big deal.
Government transparency means that you know what the government's doing.
Right. No secrets.
There's less corruption.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of
clarity. Yeah.
yeah. So why are those two things important?
Well, because they make it attractive
Right.
for foreign investment, right? Companies want to come in and know that the rules are clear, that the
Yeah.
processes are efficient.
Yeah.
They want to be able to trust the system.
Right.
And that kind of environment
Yes.
fosters healthy competition. It
Yeah.
encourages innovation.
Right.
And it just generally leads to a better business climate.
Okay, now here's another interesting statistic.
Okay.
Rwanda has the highest percentage of women in parliament.
Wow. Tell me more about that.
63.7%,
That's incredible.
which is the highest
The highest
globally.
globally.
Yeah.
So now what does that tell you about Rwanda?
I mean, it's a really positive sign.
Okay.
It shows that they're committed to gender equality,
Right.
to diversity.
And inclusion.
Yeah.
Studies have shown that when you have more women
Yeah.
in leadership positions, it leads to better decision making.
Right.
It leads to a stronger economy.
Okay,
So it's not just a feel-good statistic. It actually has real economic implications.
right. Okay, let's move on to regional hub.
Regional hub potential, yeah.
Rwanda wants to be a hub,
Like the center.
center for all of East Africa.
Yeah, like a central point for everything.
Yeah, they've got a well-connected airline.
Okay.
And they're talking about how their
Mhm.
NCE industry is growing.
What's that? What's MCE?
Meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibitions,
Oh, okay.
like all that business tourism.
This is like conferences and big events.
Big events, yeah.
So what makes a good hub?
Well, they've got the airline, right?
That's a good start.
You've got to be able to get there.
Right.
They're talking about
Yeah.
how good their infrastructure is.
That's important. So like roads and ports and all that
what stuff?
makes it easy to move goods and people.
And of course,
And the political stability.
yeah, we've already talked about
We
that.
talked about safety and stability, yeah.
They've got the
The foundation there.
they've got the foundation for sure.
Yeah.
And then they also highlight their workforce.
All right. What about it?
It's growing. It's educated.
Educated. That's good.
And a lot of them are bilingual,
Oh, that's helpful.
which is very useful for business,
For sure. For international business.
especially in that region.
Makes communication easier.
23,000 new grads
Wow. That's
from universities every year.
yeah.
Plus, they've got another 42,000 coming out of vocational training programs.
So a lot of skilled labor
Yeah.
ready to go.
Ready to work.
That's appealing to businesses for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But of course,
What's the catch?
they do need to make sure that the skills that are being taught match what businesses actually need.
Right. So it's not just about the numbers. It's about having the right skills.
Right.
So you don't end up with a bunch of graduates who can't find jobs
Yeah.
that fit their skill set.
Okay,
Important.
let's move on to our last category, which is tech readiness.
Tech readiness. That's a good one.
Rwanda is ranked #1
Wow. Number one.
in East Africa
Okay.
and #5 in all of Africa
Fifth in all of Africa. That's impressive.
for network readiness.
Okay. So network readiness.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's not just about internet access.
Okay.
It's about the whole digital ecosystem.
Like what?
So it's about digital literacy among the population.
So people knowing how to use computers, knowing how to use the internet.
Exactly. It's about cybersecurity,
Oh,
making sure that the systems are secure.
right.
It's about government policies
Okay.
that support tech adoption and innovation.
So the government's on board.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about being a part of the modern, interconnected world.
So they're really thinking about this.
Yeah, it's not just about being connected.
Right.
It's about what you do with that connection.
Okay, so how are they actually implementing this?
Give me some specifics.
Well, they've got almost universal 4G LTE coverage.
Okay.
They've got a massive 7,000-kilometer fiber optic network.
That's a lot of fiber.
And they've got, they say, a very progressive
Okay.
technology governance.
So the government is actually actively promoting technology.
Yeah. So what does this do for investment?
Well, it makes Rwanda a really attractive place
Okay.
for tech companies, for startups.
Okay.
Right? It creates an environment where these companies can thrive,
Yeah.
and it really positions Rwanda as a leader
Okay.
in the African tech scene.
Okay, so we've gone through everything that the Rwanda Development Board
Yeah. That's
laid out.
all the different aspects.
Yeah, I'm talking about growth,
Yeah.
safe, business-friendly environment, regional hub potential.
Tech readiness.
Yeah.
And tech readiness.
So they're making a strong case.
Yeah, for sure.
But here's the thing, right? The big question is,
Yeah.
how does all of this investment
Right.
align with Rwanda's broader goals
For
for social and economic development
the whole country.
for all Rwandans,
Yeah.
right? Because you can attract all the investment in the world.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't benefit the people,
Right.
then it's not really sustainable.
So is it actually going to lead to a better life
Exactly.
for the people of Rwanda?
And that's the long-term impact
Right.
that we need to be thinking about.
So how do you think this is all going to play out?
I know it's a really fascinating case study.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that we need to keep an eye on
Absolutely.
over the next few years
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see
to see how it all unfolds.
how it all unfolds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us.
It's been a pleasure. For this deep dive into Rwanda,
Fascinating country.
if you want to learn more,
Yeah, do your own research.
you can check out the Rwanda Development Board's website.
Absolutely. Lots of information there.
It's really quite impressive.
Very well presented.
Yeah. So until next time,
Keep exploring
keep exploring
the world.
the world. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Take care. Bye.